So this is a cactus which produces a fruit which is called the dragon fruit. A very nutritious fruit. If you just Google dragon fruit and you look at all the nutritional properties, fantastic. So this, we brought this specifically so that when it starts bearing fruit, we can at least give some to our mom.
It's a fruit that humans eat.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, I just thought maybe it's just a plant that
maybe
it's medicinal.
No. It has some very good nutritional properties. Fantastic. Umekuja nayo ama umekuja kuchukua? Haya basi endelea tu. That's one of the customers for the chickens. Okay. Yeah. So, the fruit of this thing was introduced into Kenya probably some 15 years ago. And at that time, there were very few people who knew about growing it. But in terms of consumption, there were people who could consume it. In the supermarket at that time, when it first came into Kenya, one fruit, which is roughly 1 kg, was retailing for 2,000 shillings. Right now, a single fruit, if it has grown nicely and it's about a kg, will retail between 500 and 1,000 shillings. One fruit. We normally put 4 stems, and if you notice, there's a concrete post. That is purely to support this. And that's why you can see we've even tied it with ropes, just to hold it onto the post. And then this, we direct the stems to come through here and then go over. You can see like that one and that one are a bit more advanced. You can go there. Yeah. These are slightly more advanced. Now, when they come out this way, is when now it will start. It's when it's about to start giving fruit, and the fruits will just come off these stems which are hanging over. We got these things in March this year, actually 1st of April, let's say. And we were told that by January next year is when they should start flowering. And we're just waiting to see, but like I said, if it does come, the first priority is for our mother. And then whatever excess you have is what we'll sell. A stem like this with 4 can produce initially probably around, what you advised is to minimize and make it, allow it to bear roughly, 20 fruits? 20 per setting up like this.
20 fruits.
Yeah, for the first round. Thereafter is when you can allow it to even give up to 40, 60. Because, you're talking of 4 stems, 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4 now you can see it has produced others. Those ones, what we will do with time is just snip them off and start another group. And actually we've started setting up another place down there where we are going to remove the excess stems. Otherwise, like now, this one you can see it's going off on its own. There are others here which are going off on their own. Those are the ones which we'll snip off now and then set up again on the other side.
Do they just grow anywhere?
This is, like I said, this is actually a cactus of the cactus family. So you have to be very careful. These things are suited for dry weather conditions. Now, when you bring them to a place like Bungoma, which has plentiful rainfall, you'll find that's why we had put this. Okay, the chickens have come and removed all this, but otherwise we cover this to prevent too much water going there. Otherwise, if you don't cover it, you'll find it will become waterlogged. And when it becomes waterlogged, it will die off. So you have to put a covering at the bottom to allow the water to go away, so that not all the water goes there. And then also when you plant them, you don't plant them very deep. They're like a surface. If you look there, you see these are some of the roots.
Okay.
These are some of the roots of the cactus. So these were just put, with the tip barely inside. But of course, we had to put a lot of manure. Now this is where the frass came into, the frass from the maggots. We just came and put around here at the base of each and every one of these, which I believe is what has contributed to this thing growing so well. Yeah.
You have a wonderful garden, I must say that, or I must comment that. It's indeed wonderful. So, are you also looking forward to maybe plant here some vegetables, or because earlier I saw there was some cleaning?
Yeah, that is just a normal cleaning,
Uh-huh.
because otherwise you'll have weeds and everything going on here.
Uh-huh.
But when it comes to vegetables, we grow vegetables over on the other side, although right now there are none there. The only other thing that's growing here are these bananas, which I said were planted by my mom.
Yes.
And she has harvested so many times over time. And in fact, most of the bananas, she ends up giving them to the church
Okay.
as her personal donation
Yeah.
to the church.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
To me, you seem to be like you are trying a lot of new stuffs around
Oh,
here,
yeah.
around this place.
It's all about survival.
Uh-huh.
We can't stick to the traditional methods which are not bringing in as much. So we have to look. Unfortunately, like I said, we are still very much at the startup stage of things. You can see there is not a single fruit here.
Yeah, sure.
But when the fruits do come, we hope they will come and in plenty. And hoping that the market will still be there, because like I said, when they started in Kenya, our fruit was going at 2,000.
Yeah.
Now it's between 500 and 1,000. Why? Because there are many people who are doing this.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in Western, we are not that many who are doing this. But in Central, can you imagine, went all the way to Meru
To find this.
to get this from a gentleman called Kinoti. He is the one who sold us the initial stems, and if you had come here in March, you'd have found just 1, 2, 3, 4 on each one of these. And now you can see the way it has gone, and it's already multiplied.
Aside from maybe putting this mulch around it, is there maybe some extra work you need to do? Apart from maybe, okay, let me just say in terms of kuipalilia or something.
So long as you have the mulch,
Uh-huh.
so long as you have the mulch there is no need to palilia, because nothing will grow underneath.
Okay.
Because the mulch will prevent any direct sunlight and therefore anything else growing from there.
Okay.
Yeah. So just make sure that the mulch is in place. Like now, when the chickens have come and done this in their name of looking for whatever, our man, he's called Charles, will come back and put
yeah.
it, or just pick some more from the bananas and put it around.
Okay.
Otherwise, that's when you'll run into the problem of weeds and whatnot. And then you have to start paliliaring and stuff like that. Aside from that, just keep the garden clean. Like you can see, you had started on that side.
Yeah.
And this is a continuous process.
Uh-huh.
You clean it today, 3 months later they are back, and you just have to keep on doing it.
Yeah.
And then the only other thing I would say is that when we are getting them, 1, 2, 3, and 4,
Yeah.
those ones produce the red fruit.
The red fruit.
Then Kinoti gave us that one there,
Oh,
which will
this one.
produce the white fruit. Yeah. So we want to see how this white fruit will come out, but they're all equally nutritious. Yeah.
So you already have a market in mind, or a place you will take them after they
Hatia.
have it? Oh, Hatia.
Okay. If Hatia doesn't want, we'll go to Naivas. If Naivas doesn't want, we'll set up our own shop here.
Wow, indeed you have a survival mindset, and I like that.
No, we have to, especially in this economy at the moment. But like I said, unfortunately, we are still very much at startup stage, and it's hard to find someone to partner with, or even those donors. The donors are just insisting on women and youth, forgetting that I am the one employing the women and youth. But we struggle, and we make sure that at the end of the day, we are going to break through and make it. Yeah.
Any advice maybe for people of my age?
What advice can I give people of your age? The advice I would give you, and I mean, you guys, have it all, so to speak. YouTube, Google. Wonderful place of information. Most of the things which I'm doing here, those maggots. Okay, fine, I went to Isipe for 1 week, but before going to Isipe, something had to drive me to go there. And I had seen these things on YouTube. And I said, look, if these guys are doing it and it's cutting down the cost of production, I can do it too. So I'd actually read extensively about it by the time I was going to Isipe. Going to Isipe was hands-on. These dragon fruits, again, this idea came off YouTube. Fine, it was propagated by my sister, And we all, like I said, this is a family business. So every Tuesday, we meet on Skype
Yes.
and we discuss issues. We discuss. So it was during one of those occasions that she came up with this. Okay, initially she had come up with apples, but then there was some stumbling block we came across. Then she said, okay, let us try this. And here they are. Her next project, actually, which we've already started preparing down there, is pomegranate. And again, YouTube. So if you're just going to stick to traditional methods, like for instance with the cows and the milk, you stick to the traditional methods of grass and napier grass, your milk output is going to be very low. But when you read and you see, oh, is this other kind of food which you can get, which is yellow maize. And by the way, that thing is fantastic. The first time we tried it, milk output actually went up double. In one case, it went triple. Just because of the silage that you're giving the animal. That makes the biggest difference. Yeah. You are what you eat.
You are what you eat. You haven't done with our advice. You advice.
No, that's all. This is part of the advice.
Yes.
As in YouTube and Google. That's where I've picked up all these. And of course, even you, if you get onto the YouTube and whatnot and just look, as in be open-minded. Don't just decide that, okay, I want to do computers and that's it.
Stick to that.
No. As you're looking for the things that you want to do on computers, many things keep on popping up on the screen. Just take the interest to read this, to read that and whatnot. And something you're going to find, you're going to bond with something and you'll grow with it. Yeah.
Thank you. So maybe you were taking us to the greenhouse. So guys, we are still doing a tour of Mr. Chris' farm. I don't know if I should call it a tour, but I don't have any specific term to give it. But he's showing us a lot of stuffs around here and his new methods that he has employed in his farm. I hope you're still with us. Thank you.
Yeah, it's just like a pump. But there's like a pump in here. What happened is, in 2019,
Yes.
when they were doing this road, okay, not doing the road, when they were expanding the road,
Yes.
these fellows ended up pursuing, there is that Zoasco water pipe, it's somewhere over there. They bust that pipe, and for a period, actually, this area had no water. And I was seeing now, my mom is suffering.
Yes.
So what I ended up doing is now putting a pump. Because the well has always been there.
Yes.
So I put an extension, I put a pump here. And then now, that pump, this is just the power line.
Okay.
The pump actually, there is a water line which goes like this to that tank over there. Supplies water there. Now that water goes into the house. On the other side, it goes to the cows. And then there's another line which comes back this way. Goes to the pigs. And then there's this one here. So, there's Nzoasco. Nzoasco supplies the house only. But when Nzoasco is out, now that tank takes over, supplies the house and supplies everybody else. Those two nyumbas there, those two landis, those things were built in 1971 by my mom and dad. The original ones on that side. So there are some two tenants who are there up to now. We've never demolished them, although we would like to, but because of Mother, tumeona tu tuache. So those guys also come here for their water. Before they used to chota here, but now ever since we put that thing, it has made life a bit easier for them. One of the other things we've done is this interlocking bricks. You'll notice that this unit here is done by interlocking bricks. Yeah. You're interlocking, and interlocking is fantastic. When it comes to actual construction time, very chap.
Alafu ni cost effective pia. You don't need much cement maybe.
The only cement used is at the time of construction.
Oh, okay.
At the time of making.
Of mixing it. Wakati wa kujenga you just unazi-interlock tu pamoja.
Just interlock. greenhouse. But I didn't carry those things. Unless you want me to go back and pick them. You see there's nothing much happening in here.
Yeah.
But you find there's a lot of heat.
Heat inside here.
There's a lot of heat. So, this is where we brought the maggots initially, and they all died. Why? Because of the excessive heat. So all those, can I say, those little units you've seen in there used to be here, and they're all lined up on one side. Now, when we got this thing, like I said, it was copy-paste from Isipe.
Yeah.
Let's go outside and show you.
Okay.
Like you see,
Yes.
the only ventilation they are provided was down here. You see this bottom section
Yeah.
has things which we could roll up.
Yes.
Basically, they're on pieces of wood which would lift and
Up.
put over here.
On that hook.
Like that. We would lift and put up. That was the ventilation that was provided then. This section which you see here was not, it could not move up and down. Then it reached a point whereby, because of the heat in there, when you raise this, nothing is happening. Why? Hot air rises
Yeah.
and stays up there. So we are opening the bottom, but the hot air is still there. So I looked and looked and looked before I came up with this system here. Now this system, I have some units there in the house, which I didn't carry. You come and you look over here. Then there are those winches in there, and you just roll, and it rolls up, rolls up.
Oh, you roll it now.
So this is what you call a universal joint. It allows rotation in any direction. Yeah, 360 degrees. So what I did, by the way, to get these things in Nairobi, in Bungoma, forget it. I had to get them.
They are not found.
Yeah, I got onto Google, tufted, before I found them in Nairobi from Amiran. Amiran actually makes greenhouses. Well, they'll sell you a greenhouse.
Okay.
And they're quite cost-effective and thorough in their work. So you fit that there like that. Let me get the other section.
Okay. So guys, we just want to see how he opens up the upper face of this greenhouse. We want to see how he controls the heat inside there.
So,
yes.
this is the winch. Now you can see the winch is fairly long, and that's because not all of us are tall.
Yes.
But you have to raise this thing all the way to the top. And you may be wondering, why don't I just leave this in place? Well, the reason is fairly simple. See, like for instance, isn't this thing picking up? And the reason is theft. See, like just over there is a trench.
Yes.
Now that trench picks up from the main road. There is a box culvert that was put over there. And that water pours into our shamba. When that thing was put in place, there is a big hole there in the fence at the bottom where the trench starts. And these little street urchins used to cross through there. And at times they would make their way all the way to the pigs.
Oh.
So what we did is we put some wires there. There were Y10s or R10s. We soldered them in, not soldered, we chomelered them into place. They did not last a week. These fellows who come to steal metal, scrap metal, they took the whole thing away. So with that kind of situation, I don't want to leave any unnecessary metal lying around. But anyway, so this is the winch. And all you do is,
you roll it up.
you see, it lifts up the whole side. By the way, did you take note of the temperature inside?
Yeah, we did.
You did? Okay. You felt how hot it was?
Yeah, it was very.
Let me finish this and then we go back inside.
And compare notes.
And then you'll compare.
Yeah. Wow.
So I have to make sure these are the right spot. Something like that. Now,
Okay.
it would ideally stay on its own even
Yeah.
without coming down.
Uh-huh.
But just to be on the safe side, I have this,
Uh-huh.
which I then come
Uh-huh. To
and
just
put there like
prevent it.
that,
Yes.
just to prevent it from jumping back.
Yeah.
So this side is open.
Yes. So the sink, it's just for cleaning yourself maybe before you, when you come from the greenhouse.
And it's not just yourself, but all the equipment.
Oh, yeah.
Because see, like now, when you finish with one batch of maggots,
Uh-huh.
and you want now to introduce the next batch, it's just good to clean
Yes.
the equipment that you're using,
Yes.
be it the basins or the trays. Fine, maggots eat a lot of rubbish, but that doesn't mean you treat them that way. Yeah,
Yes.
it's always good practice anywhere to
Yeah.
keep all your equipment clean.
Clean.
It's good practice.
Yeah.
You see again?
Uh-huh.
So the purpose of that joint is just to allow that rolling. Without that joint there, to do this turning
It will
is
be
next
hard.
to impossible.
Yeah.
Now I know there's a wire cable here somewhere. Again, same story. Just do that.
Yes.
You hold it in place. Now, if we go back inside, we should
Okay.
notice a drop in temperature.
Temperature.
It is cooler now.
Ah, sure. A very big difference, in fact.
It's actually cooler now.
Yeah.
So, like I said, before I got this done,
Yeah.
that heat killed all my BSF flies. All of them. And I actually had to do a lot. It took me about 3 months of just checking and checking before I found that actually this is something in existence. They are called side roll-ups. So it's a modification of what this one is, which this one had bows on each one of these, which you had have to lift up.
Yeah.
But with a side roll-up, you open the whole side at once, and you have the air flowing through, and the temperature is controlled. Now, there you've only sorted one of your problems, temperature. If you, okay, I didn't point it out to you when we were on the other side, but inside one of those houses, one which had a few flies, there was actually a gadget inside which measures temperature and humidity. Now, the ideal temperature of this, can I say, BSF, is around, around 23 to 30 degrees centigrade. That is the ideal temperature in which they will thrive nicely. It can go higher or it can go lower. If it goes very cold, what happens is the flies and the maggots go into a sort of hibernation state. When it's very cold, they become inactive and they just chill. When it becomes too hot, the flies just die. It's that simple, and that's what happened in here. Aside from temperature, there is humidity. Now, what we did to address humidity, but we've now brought back the flies yet, is this. Inside here,
Yes.
I have a pump. That pump is attached to that water tank out there.
Yeah.
So this pump comes along. Okay, right now it's broken. One of the cows got hold of it on the outside and just broke. Otherwise, this was connected outside there. That was connected out there. There is that other unit out there. So that was the water inlet, and this was the water out.
Yeah.
There's a node here. There's this
another
one
one
here,
there.
and there's that one there.
Yeah.
And then you have this cable here. You'll notice there are nozzles on every one of these. hives. Those are called misters. And the whole purpose of a mister is to produce mist. So that pump, when it pumps, it also creates pressure in the whole system. And then these things emit a fine spray of water. Now that fine spray of water is what creates or raises the humidity if it is too dry. It will raise the humidity of the entire place. And then now you'll get your ideal humidity and your ideal temperature. Temperature from here, humidity through this. Now, the ideal humidity for this BSF is in the range of 70. 70 is the ideal. Sometimes when you don't have this, the humidity can go all the way down as low as 20, which is not good for these creatures. If it goes higher, they don't really have a problem so long as the temperature is okay. But if you're talking of ideal conditions, 28 degrees centigrade, 70. And your maggots will thrive very well. Yeah.
So this place needs to be assessed time after time.
Oh yes, you have a constant monitoring going on. So the thing is, during the day, there will be workers who will be working here. Because I mean, if you're talking of this structure here, you're talking of a lot happening at the same time.
Sure.
Now, that means they're workers. And those workers, because that thing which is across there, which is basically a thermometer and hygrometer, sits on this post. And they should be monitoring it throughout. If it gets too cold, they just let down the sides. If it gets too hot, you lift up the sides. If they check on the hygrometer and it's showing that the humidity is a bit low, just turn on the unit. And the misters will need. So you find this is one line, there's meant to be another line there and another line there, off that node and that node. Those ones are put back in the house. There's no need of keeping them here when there's nothing happening. Yeah, but that's basically it. And like I was talking about partnership, or even if I can get a grant from someone in, all those benches and whatnot you saw in there, all those units, this place should be full of them. And the day this thing is full, there will be like one row here, another row in the middle, and another row on the other side. That's when I'll be able to feed all the chickens, all the pigs, and even introduce fish.
Sure. And that would also mean maybe you increase the number of the chickens you are.
Oh, yes, yes, absolutely. Like I said, I would like to get to that stage where every week I'm sending out like 200 chickens, because I think that would more or less fit in with the demand in Bungoma. If it is in Nairobi, my friend, even 1,000 a week is not enough. You will not meet the demand. I have a friend of mine in the coast. In a week, you have about 4 or 5 people, each of them is kuku mia sita, kuku mia nane. And this is in one day, about 3 or 4 people come like that. Yeah. But here in Bungoma, we are still on kienyeji, but I know if I can get to 200 per week, I will get that market.
And now after maybe doing the change, after maybe redoing the structure, have you done some trial with the maggots over here?
No, not yet. I'm still growing the population on that side. Once the population is too much to be held in there, then I will bring the excess. I'm not going to do the mistake I did before of just bringing everything. No. The excess is what I'll bring here. Like you can see, I already have 2 cages here. And that will be enough. So I'll bring the excess, put it in here, and if it works well, I just, wanted to keep on putting one cage, fill one side, fill the middle, fill the other side, and we continue like that. You guys are in Bungoma. As you keep on passing on this road, just monitor. You'll see. By the end of next year, this place should be full.
That would be very good.
Unless, of course, I get a donor who says, okay, here, have this money.
Have this.
This thing will be full. I'll populate this place within 2 weeks.
And I'm sure you will, because this thing is very interesting, and anyone would wish to associate themselves with such a thing.
By the way, one thing I'm even willing to do, if I get this place running well, I have no problem setting it up also as a training facility. All these youth out here, what are they doing? So, bring them here. I will train them. I will train them, whether it's at a fee or for free, depends on the logistics at that time and how, I don't know how business is going. I will train. Then now they go to their places and set up the same thing on whatever scale they want to set it up. It is very possible. I mean, you've seen the black soldier fly. It consumes everything organic, any organic waste. So that means what? It is contributing to cleaning up the environment. Clean up the environment of all that organic waste, the market, or is it, I don't know, the places where they dump all this waste food and all that. Get these little boys. In fact, there were some boys, I don't know what happened to them. They used to call themselves Wasafi. And they used to go around with them Kokoteni.
I've seen them.
You've seen them, Wasafi?
Yeah, I've seen them.
I lost track of them. But they brought me the leftovers here twice and then just disappeared. But they walk around with them Kokoteni, picking up from, with a donkey. Picking up from the various hotels. They only served me twice and then disappeared. Otherwise, for me, they were doing me a very good service. If I could get hold of them again and they continue bringing me, that's very fine with me. I mean, for me, that is a very good initiative on their part. I don't know if it's someone who sponsored them or they did it on their own. But these are youth, young fellows who are engaging themselves in something very useful.
For your viewers, I guess you have seen what's going over here. I'm sure you are all. It has interested you, and you have learned much as I have done. Until next time, this is Culture Hub TV. Stay intact. I'm your host, Presenter Dante.